Welcome to My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
Okay,
Oh my
so we just need to jump right in because I think we're chomping at the bit right now.
So
So
much.
I forgot about my homework assignment, which was to watch MILF Manor.
Yes.
Until this morning. I woke up this morning
And we're like, oh, shit.
and I was like, oh, we're going to record. Like, I should try and like get this episode in. So I started it and I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I had mixed feelings though, because meeting the women was kind of interesting. Like the youngest woman is 40. We just jumped right into it. We're like 30 seconds into this podcast.
Yeah,
No,
we're doing this.
We're doing this.
The youngest woman is like 45
Yeah.
and the oldest woman is 59,
Yes.
I think. And hearing their stories was interesting. And, honestly, not my thing, but I'm like, if you want
Get yours.
you've dated a lot of different types of people and maybe like you want to give this a go.
It seems like they're all out of divorces.
Yes.
And like, not necessarily. I don't think it seems as though these women are looking for their next husband on MILF Manor. Let's be honest.
No. And the men too, like when they started showing up. Now listen, I did text you guys and I was like, there is one of the men is a 21-year-old event promoter.
Honey.
Yeah, men
Loose
loosely.
terms.
These are
Right.
freshmen.
Fresh
Men.
Indeed. They are. The youngest man is 21 and the oldest man is 27, right? So they
It's
show
my
up.
son's age. And these people's sons.
Ages.
Yes.
Yes.
Some of
Or
these women
younger.
have grandchildren for real. So I was feeling a little uncomfy when you guys walked in. The older women and the younger men were slathering each other in maple syrup. And I was like, what am I doing? What's
It's my life
happening
right
here?
now. Yeah.
But I was like, look, there's only 15 minutes left of this episode. How about
Right.
you guys sit down? Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And wow, what a journey. First of all, there was a lot happening, but things really kicked off at the end of the episode when they brought the dads in.
Wow. The trauma.
The amount of screaming that's happening in my apartment when we're watching this show.
Oh, your neighbors. I am so shocked there hasn't been a wellness check yet.
They're like, are you guys suffering over there?
Audibly screamed.
Oh, yeah.
So many times.
Oh my
So
God.
many times. The men, first of all, the men walked in and are hot.
The dads, the real men, not the freshmen.
Yeah.
The seniors.
Somebody asked to bite someone's ass in a hot tub.
And then their dad showed up. And then their dad
And
showed
then
up.
their
Their
dad
dad
showed
showed
up. And the young men are so worried.
Oh,
like
of
you
course.
can see
They
the
should be.
second the dad showed up, they were like, oh shit.
Well, and
They
then the
should be.
trauma
that
buried in
one
these
kid,
stories.
Right.
Oy vey. That one kid has trauma. He doesn't even talk to his dad.
One of the guys has not spoken to his father in years, and his father left his stepmom, who is like his mom, because he was a cheater. Imagine trying to date the
Habitual.
same women as your dad that you haven't seen for years, who was a serial cheater.
Trying to date the same women as your dad who just divorced
Oh,
your mom of 24 years.
Yeah, 9
months ago.
9 months.
9 months.
The drama. So we recorded our movie episode and then we paused it. We went and poured a glass of wine and we watched the second episode, where the dads and the sons had to give a Magic Mike style striptease in front of the women and in front of each other.
It was embarrassing.
And they're rooming with each other.
Yeah.
The dads and sons are rooming
And
together.
the dads walked into their fucking 20-something-year-old rooms and were like, you're cleaning this shit
Like
up.
old bowls of food and stuff. They've only been there for 2 days and it already, I can just smell it.
Socks everywhere.
Yes.
Just
Listen, I really thought I was going to feel some type of way about this show.
Oh, I
And I do. But
Let's be real.
the drama is so high.
Yeah.
It is like whoever is producing this show. Oh my God. I actually do recommend watching it with like your girlfriends.
Yeah.
Don't watch it alone. That's
No.
just
No,
sad.
no,
That's
no.
sad.
It's
That's a
sad.
sad life.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But like, oof. And I don't even know that I would recommend watching the first season because I don't think they brought the dads on. But this dynamic where the dads and sons and women in their 40s and 50s.
The women and the two of the women got into like basically a cat fight bar brawl.
Oh my God. A glass was broken in episode 2.
is
A drink was thrown.
you guys. Okay, first of all, we need to explore what the fuck would you do in this situation?
They tried to lady and tramp with a lychee.
Yeah, a younger woman and an
I
older
gotta be honest, you
Making
guys keep
out.
saying lychee and I have
older
no
woman.
clue what that is.
It's like a fruit. It's like a
Oh, okay.
It looks like a scallop.
yeah. It's like a white. It looks like a melon ball kind of.
Yes.
but it's like
Yes.
white. And
Yeah.
they put them in drinks.
And they were trying. It was so
Ew,
awkward.
I hate
It's
that.
so awkward.
And then his dad showed up
And
the
then
next
his
day.
daddy showed
The dads
up.
are hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is absolutely questionable. Definitely the one who's like not talking to his son because he's a piece
Oh,
of
he's
shit.
bad news. He's bad.
And the one
news.
girl who is like, I love bad decisions, and she immediately was drawn to
She's
him.
like, I'm not going to make any more bad decisions. And then she beelined for that guy. I was like, of course you did.
My favorite is Darren for right now. I have such a soft spot. He's like, I always go for the drama.
Yes, yes.
Not anymore.
And he's like, it's so hot, but that's a red flag.
the new me
I can't.
is.
Numi is not going to be drawn to these wild women who are
And this man
fighting
is like
in a bar.
55 and he's like, oh, these women are like cat fighting in a bar and why do I want it? Why do I want to go towards the flame?
He did. He said a moth to a flame. I can't.
And then you have Anthony, who's the New Jersey pizza owner.
Oh my
With-
God.
who is grown on us big time.
Yes.
Like literally. Okay, first of all, okay.
We're episode 2 and I'm like, the
Striptease.
the
We need to
feelings
talk
I've
about
had
the
now.
I could talk to this about the striptease for literally like this whole episode.
That one dude's fucking underoos.
Oh,
what the
my
fuck was
God.
happening?
The boys, these
boys with their
children
baggy
with their
boxer
baggy
brief.
ass, don't know how to wear boxers. Don't know,
then the
do not know
dad-
their sizes.
The dads are in like fucking designer
Yeah.
Crotch
boxer
huggers.
briefs
Yeah.
that fit them nicely.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Stacked.
So.
Yes.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
I'll tell you right now, I'd be going for one of the daddies.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody knows I have daddy issues, so clearly, but yeah.
I was just saying before we press record, we only have a finite time on this planet
Yeah.
to really like
Enjoy it.
enjoy being alive.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm so grateful that I spent 2 hours of that time
Yeah.
watching MILF
Yeah.
Manor
I mean, I
too.
think this is our new Saturday ritual pre-recording.
Yes.
It's
I'm into
probably
it.
like pour some breakfast wine.
Yes.
Get some cheese out.
Hurler,
Cheese
hurlers.
tray out and watch MILF Manor.
I mean, hashtag blessed.
Truly, like this is my ancestors could only have hoped for this for this kind of leisure.
You think that was the kind of dream they had
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah.
This might be as good as it gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, really?
In this day and age, and these fucking trying times, TM.
It truly,
Jesus Christ.
truly, get yourself some girls together
Yeah.
around 11
You will
o'clock.
scream. Make sure
Honestly, you
if
deserve
one of
it.
your girlfriends owns a house, not an apartment, you probably go there because
Yeah.
it's like the amount of screaming we did.
Oh.
Criminal.
I was clutching a pillow in front of my face at some
Keegan
times.
has a bruise on her for sure because I've hit her 30 times at least.
It was warranted. It was warranted. Yeah,
Cassie,
no
at one
hard
point
feelings.
you had to like leave the room
I
from
did-
secondhand embarrassment.
It's because they were making out in the hot tub.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She was making out with a child in a hot tub. Oh my God. He's 21.
and he
and
bit
an
her butt.
event
He bit her
promoter.
butt.
Listen,
he bit her butt.
I would let him bite my butt, but that's not it. I don't want to make. Oh God, it was so icky. And every one of them is like screaming "Desperate Housewives" of some such and such, because
Yep.
all of them have the biggest fucking tits to their eyeballs.
Yeah.
Man,
It
it
is.
is. It's fun.
And I love the
It's
women
so
who, you know,
fun.
like showed up and are in over their heads. Like there's Lynette who does not have fake tits. And she's like, she has a fake teeth though.
Yeah,
But
she does.
she's just like norm.
she's just
like
normal. And she's
honestly,
just looking around like,
the
how
fif-
did I get here?
The
You know?
59-year-old is also kind of like, you do see, like we paused it a couple times and I'm like, you see how sad these people really are. The humanity is
This
lost.
is so much
Yeah.
different than they thought it was gonna
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they were like, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna like date some hot
gonna be
young
so
men.
fun.
Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be so fun. And then they get there and they're like, what happened?
I have to
so
pour
desperate.
maple syrup on
I
myself.
have to do what? I'm 59 years old.
I have to.
That's
I have to
weird.
date the father and the son. Like what?
I didn't sign up for this.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't sign up for this.
Okay, we got to put ourselves in the scenario though, because we jokingly talked about this. What the fuck would you do, Keegan?
No.
If your mom's in her like early 50s,
Yeah.
You went on a show, MILF Manor.
No.
You got all these daddies
No.
there. You got all these daddies
And
there.
they brought my mom.
And they brought your mom
I
on?
would go home. I don't need that kind of trauma. I really don't need that kind of trauma in my life.
No,
I am not the amount of therapy that I would need to compete with my mother on a dating show and have to share a room with her.
I'm
no,
so
you've lost your
competitive. I think
fucking
I would.
mind.
I got a strong 4-day limit.
Yeah.
You know, with T-Con. I love her so much, but
You know, the amount of love that
it's-
T-Con got when we shared that Halle Berry picture.
Oh, man.
And the thing is and somebody did DM us and they were like, T-Con reality superstar. And the truth of it is like, that is the thing. My mom and I think we would have a conversation and one of us would leave. My mom might even agree to leave. T-Con's not leaving.
oh no, she's
T-Con's
very
not going
competitive.
anywhere.
She's an Aries.
Aries.
And
and my mom and I are both Aries. Can you fucking imagine? To the death. To the fucking death.
No.
Competitive to the... Oh.
I believe that, Cassie,
Yeah.
but I also I
know.
don't want that for you.
You don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for television. This is why this can never happen.
Things are going to get so weird.
I mean,
they're
DILF
all
Manor to happen though, because I want to see it. I don't want to be experiencing it.
DILF Manor?
No, I don't want to see that because I already feel like we get like older men with younger women like
all the time. And then,
Yeah, but
yeah,
the
it's like,
moms
oh,
come.
but if the
big-
moms came,
That's
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
different. Yes,
The
yeah.
moms come.
But then we know how it ends. They all end up with the younger women. So, you know.
Maybe they don't.
No, that's a good. You know what? That's a social experiment.
Yeah, just like this is. Just
This
like
is
DILF Manor.
some kind of experiment. I don't know what
it is,
for,
but
but
it feels very like
These boys.
I don't know that. I feel like most of the women are going to end up with the older men.
Obviously, these
Yeah.
younger men are garbage sacks now compared to these older men that came in. That one guy is going to leave. Like he has to.
Cassie,
Like
both you and I are in our 40s.
Yeah.
So if I was single right now,
Yeah.
the prospect, I'm like, oh, okay. On one hand, I have a man that's a private jet salesman that 1,000% has a 401k
For sure.
and his shit together.
Yeah.
Looks like he knows how to load a dishwasher and,
And
the
I don't
like.
even know what his son does.
No.
Yeah.
Like, and I watched from the beginning, and
Right.
I don't know.
I don't remember what that kid's name is, but you know what I mean?
but
Like,
Darren,
Yeah.
Darren is the one who owns the
right. Exactly.
is in aviation sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walked in, and what did I say? Because he came in on crutches, and I was like, he looks rich.
Yep.
I was like, that man looks rich. And
Yep.
then they were
Yeah.
like, I'm in aviation sales. I was like,
Yeah. You're gonna tell me like there's some sort
man
of
could put me in a plane.
mystery
Yeah.
about who we gonna choose. It's like
Yeah. I want the 401k.
Darren. I want the Darren.
Yeah, no question.
I want the Darren.
Well, and it's not even like these men are attractive either. Like they're like
fine.
they're like
Oh,
you're
the
saying,
older men are fucking hot.
That's what I mean. I'm
the
like,
younger men are like, meh, it's okay. Like honestly, when they did that fucking striptease dance, there was no fucking question who won. These fucking little children with their barely processed
I'm gonna
bodies.
need you to stop calling them children.
This one kid had his underoos like tucked into
Underoos.
it was so uncomfy.
but
I
you
was
know,
like,
just-
sweetheart.
In their defense, they also have to
They
be
were
so
doing a
uncomfortable.
striptease in front of their dad.
Because what I said when I saw that was, I was like, this guy, like, you got to fluff it a little bit or something before you go out there. But I
There's
was like,
no
but
fluffing.
you
Those were
can't,
insides.
but you can't fluff if you're gonna be doing a striptease in front of your dad.
But the dads came out.
No, but
fucking
they had good
hot.
undies. That lifted.
Yes,
They had
that's
good
right.
lifting.
And
boxer briefs.
that's what security and a good job for
job gets
many
you.
years gets you.
Yeah.
Gets you underwear that fits you.
Yeah, that's right. It's
So, you know,
promotions.
I'm so upset.
event promotion.
God.
That is not a job. Can we agree? We all knew like
What
somebody.
is so you're just going around telling people there's
Yes,
parties?
like I remember that
Yeah.
I had friends who were like, and it's always guys who are like 21,
Yeah.
and that is their job. Like they hand out they get people to come to a club for a certain night, and they're like in charge of like I had a friend who dated an event promoter.
What's
and
that
like
pay? Like however many
I
people
think
come
you
in with your
get-
flyer?
Yeah, you get like something
That's
like
not
that.
solid.
And also part of your job is like I had a girlfriend who dated an event promoter, and so I got to go to a lot of clubs because they need women.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like part of their job is getting like girls in the club.
Yeah.
So, but
Okay.
like that is not a real
No.
job.
No.
There is no
Not-
401k
not
with
when
that.
you're 45,
There's no insurance,
right?
There's definitely no insurance.
Because Christina, not you, Christina, but Christina on the show who was making out with that 21-year-old. I'm like, you are like a 47-year-old
Hun
woman.
bun.
You cannot. What? Are you just gonna? I guess you could be his sugar mama, I guess, but he's not bringing anything.
36-year age difference. Can you fucking imagine?
Not 36.
Older than my
That's
age.
26.
Oh,
Still,
okay.
I mean,
Wait. She's 47 and he's 21.
yeah, that's 26.
Yeah, that's right.
2 + 1 is 3.
What?
47.
Now we're doing math.
Wait.
47 minus 21.
Keep all of this in.
This is the 21.
They are children to me.
Christina, I was willing to go. I mean, Cassie, I was totally willing to go there with you. I was like, yeah, sure.
What? You were like -1. What are you talking about? I'm like, no, they're children. No, babies. 11 years old.
My God. Yeah. No, it's too much. I mean, it's no debate for me, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of in the zeitgeist right now, like older women with younger guys.
That's right.
Because that movie with
came
Anne
out.
Hathaway just came out.
Cher's dating like a 20-something, and
That's-
so
no,
is
I need that.
Kristen Cavallari has
Yeah.
a boyfriend who's in his 20s. And listen, here's the thing, and this is why I have mixed feelings about it, is because I do think it needs to be destigmatized, because we kind of, and we can say
older
it's gross
guys-
or weird, but it does happen all the time, like
Yeah.
where older guys are with younger women, and there is a different kind of stigma that goes the other direction.
This is
Right.
like much younger.
It is much, much younger, but you see that all the time with,
Yeah,
with
that's
men
true.
in
You're
their
right.
40s,
That's
date women in
right.
their 20s, like
And I
all
still
the
think, and I think
time.
that's kind of weird
And
too.
I
I'm not
agree.
gonna lie. There's-
I
What do you
agree.
have to talk about?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
What can you talk about?
I agree with you. Like I think it's kind of weird both ways,
Yeah.
but it does happen.
Sure.
And I think society in general have a different feeling about like older women and younger men. And a lot of these younger men did, whether or not they said it for TV or whatever, like did come onto the show saying like, I am attracted to older women. I like having conversations with older women.
Ooh.
And like, I think it's
Oh.
more stimulating to be with an older woman. And I'm like, okay, well,
Well, there you go.
great.
Okay.
you
Good
know,
for you, I guess.
you all
Everybody's-
technically are adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of you barely.
Barely.
Freshmen.
You know, and it's not for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only
Yeah.
34, and I wouldn't date a 21-year-old. Me personally,
Would you date a 27-year-old? Now that
good
you know that my
question.
son's age is-
oh, gee,
I know.
you know, I can't
When you
even
put
have
it
a
like
serious
that,
thought
yeah.
about it when you say it like that. I
it's-
think I
it's-
couldn't date anyone younger than my brothers, and my younger brother is 20. He'll be 25 this year.
What
So-
about Christian? How old is he?
He's older than me. He's,
That's what I'm
he's
saying. Like,
11
see,
months older than me.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
dating somebody your brother Christian's age?
Well,
And
yeah, he's
older
my
than
age.
you. But
yeah, well, we're only 11 months apart, and he's older. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What my age parameters when I set them up, I actually only went like a year younger. Like
Yeah.
1 year younger.
That would be
and then
me.
it was like 45 is when
82.
But I
Okay,
was
if
dating when
I-
I was 37. So yeah, I did it 36 to 45 was
Okay,
my
so
age range.
You asked me 27.
Mm-hmm.
If it happened organically, maybe
Very mature.
If I was
Yeah, it depends
yes,
on the
very
person.
mature, like if I was having a really good conversation, I found out that he was 27, maybe I'd consider it. If I was doing it on a dating app, I
That's
think I
different,
would do
yeah.
5 years younger would be my max. So that's
Yeah.
like 29
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
It would be like I'd set it like 29 to 45.
Yeah.
I think would be like my
Comfort zone. Yeah.
comfort zone. I think I
Yeah.
wouldn't set it to anything lower than that. But even then, I don't know, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, but I think I'd be open to it because you never know. People mature
Sure.
at different rates. You can date a guy in his 40s. I mean, I just finished watching Vanderpump Rules. You can date a guy in his 40s who's like
Truly.
an actual
Exactly.
child.
Ain't got
like,
shit going on for them.
You know,
Yeah.
you can't judge purely on
It's
age.
truly.
Well,
that's true.
Apparently, I was telling Keegan this last night, but you didn't get to hear it, Cassie, that Bumble's CEO or founder,
Woman,
the
right?
lady, the lady that founded it, is going all in on the fact that she believes the future of dating
Oh, no.
is
no,
on
no.
the apps.
No, you did tell me this.
but it's you create an AI version of you
No.
that goes on AI dates with an AI versions of other people.
No.
And that's how you tell you're compatible. And then you go on real life
I wanted
dates.
to rip my skin off when you told me that.
I don't know. I'm mixed emotions.
The Capricorn in me,
You're like
kinda likes
efficient,
to-
a time
Yes.
saver.
Efficiency.
It's a time saver.
Efficiency.
My AI person
You
can
guys,
go on bad
no,
dates.
we need to.
Can they
invest-
report back on the bad date?
Yes.
Can they tell us how this person acted? and
Absolutely.
behaved? Because the thing of it is that you can program probably your AI to be the best version of you, right? So it's not really that telling.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah, I think in order for it to be successful, your AI would have to be as close to you as possible.
Well, but then also, you know me. I'm like Rise of the Machines. I'm not trying to like
Doesn't
give
bother me at all.
because truly,
Take
you
it.
have to give the AI so much information about you in order for it to create like an actual version of you to have like real conversations. Otherwise, it's bullshit.
Right.
You know, I mean, and then that's a time waster too, because it's like, yeah, the AI just spent all this time talking to your AI, but they don't know real shit about you because you don't even know everything about you, right? So it's just like, then they're going to converse, they're going to make the matches, you're going to meet in person, and you're going to be like, oh, you're so much fucking worse in person.
I think that there's a lot of other things I would prefer AI do for me versus date.
This is not the thing we need AI for. And here's what it is like, I can come around on like some of the AI stuff. What I will not come around on with AI is like the thing we are lacking the most as a society. Let me step on my soapbox. Is connection, like actual, true human, intimate connections with each other. Like we are lacking that so much.
which is why I think that you're seeing so many people meet people in real life now. Like I hear so many more people talk about like just not being on apps and like meeting people in real life. I think especially now that we're out of COVID, I don't know, maybe it's too having lived in Germany now for 3 months.
You're so European.
So European now. I feel like people are like actually getting outside of their houses and they're going places.
I did have a guy ask me for my phone number at the grocery store the other day. And that is what he said. He's like, I don't like being on the apps.
This is very important. Which grocery store?
Ralph's.
No. Kibosh.
Yeah. No,
Gelson's, yes. But you know what? I've seen a lot of almost every celebrity that I've seen, not all of them, but almost every celebrity I've seen at the grocery store, I've seen at Ralph's. Yeah. And granted, I go to Ralph's
cute?
more.
That's the question.
Yeah. He was Haitian.
Ooh.
But I do think people are meeting each other. I think people are invested in meeting each other in more organic ways.
That's right.
These days. And I think that that's healthy. Like, I'm not saying to do away with the apps, but I am saying if we're going to start using AI, use AI in other ways. Make it your personal assistant. Use it in other ways that free up your time to have more intimate, direct
that's a really good point.
Have it write movies like A Beautiful Disaster.
Jesus Christ. If you're not part of our Patreon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, truly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that like I would love AI to plan my calendar for me or do like those kinds of things that like make a grocery list for me. Like those kinds of things.
I love AI.
I think are helpful and they free up your time for other things. But I think what we need to not be skimping on is actual time,
human
setting
connection.
time apart to make real connections. That's the last thing I want to do.
And so that's why you should make friends with all your casting friends and get on MILF Manor too.
Except that she's too young to be on MILF Manor, isn't she?
I'm not old enough. Wait, there's a reality show for everyone.
That's right.
There is a reality show. We all have a reality show we could go on. All of us.
I do think it'd be hilarious to see Keegan on a reality show.
I don't know. I'm going to cry a lot.
The funny thing is that, did you see on our Facebook, somebody pointed out that you were on like, it was like an ad for an online game, but it was a picture of you from the game show we were on, Chain Reaction.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I feel like you shouldn't either. That's why I tagged you twice in it.
Probably in the fine print of being on that game show.
Yeah, I did not read.
Use your likeness.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I listen. I don't know that. I feel like certain types of people are built for reality shows, and I don't. Did you say it'd be you?
Me?
Yeah, I think that you would, because you can hold your own. I think I would be terrified. You would be terrified.
You would be terrified.
The three of us together on a reality show. I know how this is going to go.
Yes.
I'm going to get wine drunk and I'm going to start crying
Yes.
at like some point in the night.
Christina's the villain.
I'm going 1,000% Tiffany Pollard.
Which she's a Capricorn too. Capricorns on reality shows.
Who's Tiffany Pollard?
New York.
New York.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
You're going to be on House of Villains.
And I'm
for sure.
The only Aries I can think of is Beverly Hills, or no, Orange County housewife. What the hell's her name?
I don't watch Orange County.
Oh, she was. Oh,
There's lots of Capricorns in reality.
There's lots of Aries and Capricorn.
And there are Pisces too, but the Pisces are always, you can always spot them. And
They're
they
crying.
they always make for like kind of like Cynthia from Real Housewives of Atlanta is a Pisces.
That tracks. That fucking tracks.
Stassi's husband Bo is a Pisces, and you're like, yeah, he's too
Okay. Oh,
he's
wait.
too level to be on this show.
This is our fuck, marry, kill. We have to find a fucking reality star who is our sign.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in New York. 1,000%.
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
Me too.
The fucking meme where she's in those fucking Matrix sunglasses just
Sitting
sitting
on the
on the bed is, I think of it at least once a week. I am in that exact mood. 1,000%. That is me in a picture. That's meme. So,
Okay.
Yep, I'm New York for sure.
Kourtney Kardashian.
Oh yes, she is an Aries. Gosh, this is
Is that
hard.
OJ's kid?
No, that's Chloe.
Oh no! Oh no!
We're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued.
Todd Chrisley. Ugh.
But have you guys all seen Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yes.
Then I'll just go with Cynthia. I'll go with Cynthia because
Cynthia.
then we know
Yep.
who that is.
Real.
Go with Courtney because everybody, or Jonathan Van Ness.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows
who they are.
Jonathan.
Yeah, I'll do Jonathan Van Ness.
Okay, so Jonathan Van Ness, Cynthia Bailey, and Tiffany Pollard. Oh, no. Okay.
Oof.
Okay. I actually really like Cynthia. I don't think she's built for reality TV, despite having been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for a million years. She's too like, she wants to be like friends with everyone. She's too peacemaker.
Exactly.
To really be on reality, to be good reality TV. Yeah, and I realize like maybe every show needs a peacemaker.
Right.
But
She the one that is she the one that bought that cabin?
Yeah, she's got a beautiful home.
That home
like
is
on the lake.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
And she's like 1,000,000 feet tall.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
She's so pretty.
She's so
I
gorgeous.
think I'm gonna fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Climb her like a tree. Yeah, for real.
She's beautiful.
And I actually think I don't think we could be in a relationship together. I think it would be too much. I think
Nothing will get done.
and we'd be crying.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna have to marry New York.
we're gonna be drinking wine and crying. Oh no. Why would I
Yeah, why would you pick? That's tough.
yeah.
You picked the worst Capricorn I think alive.
the worst or the best?
I mean,
hard to
yeah,
say.
it's all relative.
say.
I didn't even look for other ones because I was like, oh my god.
Well,
like,
I know that Kyle Richards is a Capricorn.
I would marry Kyle
the
Richards.
Hadid's mom is Yolanda is also a Capricorn. There's lots of Capricorns in.
I love Kyle.
Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules is a Capricorn.
yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna
I don't know New York very well.
marry Jonathan Van Ness.
She is very much a villain.
Yeah.
She's just like doesn't
Give a
tolerate
fuck.
bullshit.
Yeah.
She's I think
And she wants to win.
she wants to very competitive.
Yeah, I don't think she gave a fuck about Flavor Flav. She just wanted to win.
correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. And she's mean about it. But
Very
she's
mean.
such good TV. Like, she's the best TV.
Her reads are so unique, creative, and she eviscerates people. I'm like, if I got a read from
But
Tiffany,
I can't be married to her. Again, I'll start crying.
Yeah,
like,
no.
if she
I'm
talks
not
to
into
me
that.
like that. Like, I cannot. I would be a friend to that person because, like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she is gonna. If she really
got my
fucks
back?
with you, she's gonna have your back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But if
you
you
want her
cross
doing reads on your behalf,
Do you remember
for
when
sure.
Pumpkin spit in her face and she grabbed her by her fucking hair?
Yep.
I can't.
Lord.
I'm like Darren from I'm not attracted to that anymore. I got
Yeah, my therapist says I'm not allowed to be friends with you.
That's right.
Dude, I was gonna watch that show that she was just on,
House of Villains,
Yeah,
right?
with
Yeah.
Omarosa, but then she was out after first, so I was like, "Fuck it, I don't want to
Jax
watch
was
it
on that
anymore."
show, too.
I don't
Jax
want to
is
watch
a fucking
it.
piece of shit.
Yeah, he
fuck Jax.
sucks.
Anyway, So wait, who are you marrying?
This is hard because I actually think being married to any of these people for me is probably not the right
it's awful.
choice.
These are
all
all
of these
awful
are not.
options.
I mean,
Well, no, Jonathan's great,
I
but,
really like
like,
Jonathan Van Ness. I just don't know if us
wanna marry
together
Yeah.
would be a great match. Also, like if I'm marrying Jonathan Van Ness, I know that I'm not ever going to be the most likable person in the relationship, and that's going to be hard for me.
He's very well liked.
Right. So actually, I'm going to change my answer, and I think this is also a mistake, but I think we can work through it with some therapy. I think we're both going to want to work through it. So I'm going to marry Cynthia. I'm going to marry Cynthia.
Okay.
I think this is best for you, honestly.
I said I wasn't ever going to date a Pisces again.
This is
but
tough.
Pisces women, I feel like are different. So I'm gonna marry Cynthia.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a little tough, but I think we can do it. I think we can push through and persevere. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fuck New York. Yeah, I'm gonna take that chance.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be. She's gonna insult me the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fucking
It's hard. It's actually really hard.
I feel like sometimes when I've watched New York in the past, we must have many different
placements. You do, yes,
for sure.
You would quietly eviscerate someone on a reality show.
There are times where I'm like, I fucking wish I had a few more of her placements because she says sometimes what I am thinking and am not brave enough to
She
say.
must have like some kind of like Aries rising or like
Something.
Leo
Yeah.
rising. Like
Yeah.
the don't give a fuck comes from someplace
It's
else.
strong.
Yes.
In
She's
her
probably got
chart.
a lot of fire in her chart.
So
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if we can find her chart.
I'm sure someone's done it before. I'm sure someone's done
absolutely.
it before.
I am actually going to choose
It's hard.
violence today.
No, you are
no.
not. Christina, think about this.
Okay, wait. Her sun is Capricorn. Her moon is Gemini.
My moon is Gemini.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, you guys are the same. Dominance, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, Saturn, Mercury. Chinese astrology, metal, rooster. I don't know what any of that means.
I don't either. Okay, well, you guys have the same sun and moon. Christina, think about what you're about to say next.
Yep. I'm doing it.
Are you going to marry?
I'm marrying
New York?
Tiffany Pollard.
You are choosing straight chaos for real.
man.
Yeah. Wow.
She has princess tattooed on her tata.
I love
Chaotic
it.
evil.
Yes, exactly. And I am entering my villain era. I am truly embracing my.
I'm scared.
Don't give a fuck.
I think going to dinner with you, I'm going to take tequila. Me and Cynthia will fall apart, like having a double date with you in
no,
New
what
York.
What will happen on that double date is that you and Christina will talk. Tiffany and
Cynthia
will talk,
Yeah.
and you guys will actually vibe. That's
Yeah.
what will happen because you guys
It's
are
gonna be
you
fun.
guys are
Fair,
gonna have
fair.
the
Yeah.
greatest like double date action ever because
right.
you guys are like exactly
Are we
Divide and
going to
conquer.
get into a fight with someone else?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
That will
Me
happen.
and Jonathan Van Ness walk in, and shit goes down, and I'm like, oh, okay. No,
Actually, this is the most chaotic group of people. If it was
It is.
Jonathan Van Ness, New York,
Sass.
Cynthia, and the three of us, like the most chaotic.
Something's happening.
I love this for this.
at Applebee's.
And I'm gonna do the I am also gonna do the same chaos monsters as you, and I am marrying Jonathan Van Ness.
wow,
Because
we really chose ourselves.
Aries.
We really
Yeah.
did.
I love him though.
No, I do too.
And
I do.
I think that he is the right kind of Aries for me. Like we would
He's fun.
we would allow each other to live our lives.
Yeah.
I would be happy to like I think we would very much cohabitate in a very
I think he's a lot like
strong
you,
way.
actually. Like
In the good ways.
in the good ways,
And not the
Yeah,
shitty
in
ways.
the
I
good
feel
ways.
like we match in the good Aries ways, not the shitty Aries ways.
Yeah, like he's not afraid to take risks.
But he's competitive. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the reason why I had to say no, because my instinct was to marry him, but I had to say no to that because I do feel like he wants to be the most liked person.
And so
in
do
the
I.
relationship.
And so we have to be always balancing that.
Yeah.
And that means
That's okay.
I think that
I'll
but
give you my
here's what it
therapist
is.
number, mine and Cynthia's therapist number.
But
And
here's
we'll-
the thing. I
yeah.
think it will actually bring out the best in both of us because
Yeah.
we both want to be the most liked. We will be competitive about being the most liked. So we'll be so fucking pleasant.
You're like, I'll get you a
It's
pillow. No, I'll get you a
ridic-
pillow.
No,
No.
honey,
You
babe.
stay. You stay.
Babe, you know, I got you. It's going to be the most Midwest relationship
Yes,
ever.
yes,
Opening
yes,
all over each
yes.
other.
I love it.
And neither of us, I think he's not from the Midwest, but it still doesn't matter. We will be so
Yes.
pleasant.
Yeah.
We'll be Disgusting.
And you know what? I do actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, I think you guys are a lot alike. Like the way that you have that Aries toughness, but he also like, you both will cry about like about any little thing and like something emotional happens and then you're like starting to tear up.
Girl,
He's
I
like
watched that
too.
show and I watched a show recently and it was I'm not going to spoil it, but anyway, the last episode I literally fucking sobbed so much my face hurt. I had a
got a
headache.
rash.
I watch that show when I'm like, I need to cry, but nothing's getting me there. There you go.
This is for you.
Yeah.
One Day. It's called One Day, and it's fucking brilliant. And anyway, but yes, I'm gonna marry Jonathan, and I am going to fuck Cynthia.
Okay,
Notoriously,
I like it.
Same.
Notoriously. Oh, did I skip you on the fuck?
Yeah, but that's
sorry.
okay.
Oh
No,
my God.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put on Luther Vandross and fucking
I like
be in
it.
that cabin and just.
You know what? I bet she's.
Pisces knows how to fuck.
I bet she's a secret freak. Like I do get that vibe.
Pisces fuck well.
I think that she. Thank you so much. I do think that she's.
Thank you.
She is a secret freak. Like she is like a lady in the streets, freak in the sheets kind of situation.
We
believe
love
this.
it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe this.
I almost married her.
Yeah.
I really did. I do like Cynthia. I
You had
appreciate-
two options: like choose peace or choose violence, and you chose violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at today.
I love that we all chose our own side.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck this life. Shit.
Oh man. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
Good.
And we're back. Okay, I've got the Tainted Love this week, so I will kick us off. Worst first date I ever went on was a guy I stupidly met on Tinder. Well. He seemed super nice. We had a lot in common. And after 3 weeks of talking over text, he asked me to lunch. 3 weeks seems like a considerable amount of time.
It is.
That is
right?
a long time.
Like,
Yeah.
to be texting. Upon getting there, conversation seemed stilted. He didn't understand references I made, despite having understood the same references over text. He ordered a meal.
This is a different fucking person.
It's the AI.
The AI dated her.
He was like,
AI dated her.
don't do it. He ordered a meal he told me he wasn't a fan of before, and all around it was just weird. I brushed it off, thinking
This is definitely somebody else.
it was just awkward because we were meeting in person for the first time. Near the end of the lunch, things were going a little better, and then he said the absolute last thing I would have expected to hear. Hey, I want you to meet my girlfriend when we're done here.
No. No.
Excuse me.
She was Tindering with the girlfriend?
Oh, no.
Turns out it was mostly his girlfriend I had been talking with the last 2 weeks. They decided not to inform me
That's
they
fucked
were
up.
in a poly relationship.
Go on fucking field.
No.
Go on field.
Or just be upfront.
Or just be
Just
upfront. There's
fuck-
so
Jesus
many
Christ.
people
That is
into
so,
it.
I think that's so fucking gross.
That's
that like you think you're talking to one
fucking
person,
fucked up.
and
Yeah.
it was calculated that they decided to do this, right?
Shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. They decided not to inform me they were in a poly relationship until I had already agreed to a date.
Fuck you.
It was
That's so fucked up.
So fucked up. It was incredibly uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
when I said I wasn't looking for that kind of relationship, he got all huffy and caused a scene.
I got a fucking scene for you.
Threw a fit like a child and went on about how I had already proven I liked her by agreeing to the date and how I was being a closed-minded bitch for not wanting to give it a try.
fucking ever
my
dare you?
God.
How fucking
Listen,
dare you?
Different strokes for different folks, but that means that as much as people can't talk shit about the way that you choose to live your life, you don't get to
That's
fucking
right.
turn around and do the same thing
That's
back.
fucking
Well,
right.
and who knows how I would feel about this even if it wasn't something I had considered before.
Right.
Who knows how I would feel about it if it was presented to me like full disclosure, this kind of thing. Like I might feel differently about it. I might be like, okay,
Absolutely.
you know what? I wasn't
Maybe a
thinking-
little bit more open
But
to
yeah,
that.
like maybe I'll give this a shot. But you don't get to fucking lie to me,
Right. That's
right.
deceive me for weeks, waste my fucking time,
Right.
Thinking I'm talking to one person and I'm not. Confuse me because I get there and I'm like, this feels weird, this feels awkward.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to do that. That's not close-minded.
No.
You know
No,
what I
it's just
mean?
lying. It's just being a coward.
Shitty.
I should make the choice if this is something I want to engage in or not. Like I'm not judging your lifestyle,
Right.
You know.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of profiles on Tinder too. That's like a picture of a couple that are looking for a third. It's not uncommon at all. It's actually quite common. So yeah, if you
everything
bothers
just needs
me.
to be laid out clearly on
Yep.
the table,
Yeah.
right? Like this is what my relationship is like. So just know that like I have another relationship. This is how it works. Is
Yep.
that something that you're comfortable with? Yes
Right.
or no? People have different like
Preferences
and
and-
limits
yeah,
and
for sure.
boundaries.
Yep.
So she says, first off, it has nothing to do with them being poly.
Right.
Though, no, I'm not into women. It has to do with the fact that they lied to me to get me out, and then I didn't even click with him.
Right.
The whole relationship would have been based on a lie. And that's a big part of it too, is like, so she did go out. So
Yeah.
maybe she did have really good conversations with the girlfriend. She doesn't like this guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's part of their poly relationship. So
Yeah.
maybe-
And she
like,
liked the girlfriend thinking
thinking
that
it
it
was
was attached to
this other person.
a sex that she's attracted to.
Right.
You know?
I asked him to take me back to work because my dumbass self agreed to let him pick me up when I got off my shift. And after another minute of hissy fitting, he agreed. Then he nearly fell asleep at the wheel on the way there and got us killed.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
He texted me later, or maybe she did. I don't know. And that's the thing too, is I'd never
Block
be able
him.
to trust it.
No.
Like you
Yeah.
base this off of like, now I can't trust you.
No.
you
Yeah.
know?
Now it's like a Cyrano
Right,
situation.
yeah. He texted me later, or maybe she did, I don't know, and apologized for how things went and asked to give it another try.
No.
I told him to lose my fucking number and deleted Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds like the girlfriend texted.
Yeah,
to
100%. He doesn't have the emotional, like, intelligence.
No, it's
bandwidth.
1000% the
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Totally.
Ugh.
All right. So I went on a first date with a guy who suggested we go to a restaurant because he had a coupon. And then
a
decided,
That was a good reason.
then decided
Is he
it
an
was
event promoter?
21-year-old event
I actually have
promoter.
nothing against coupons. Save your money. Get your bag.
No
But,
shit.
but
In
then
today's
he then decided it was too far to drive and he didn't want to spend the gas money.
Oh, babe.
It was like a 15-minute drive.
Look, I think everyone deserves love. Everybody deserves to, but I do think that there's a certain amount of like financial stability that goes along with if you're taking people out on dates.
Yeah.
And I think that's on both sides.
I think this
I
is
do love a frugal king, though.
This is
Of
so. This
course.
was specifically from a post where it was like, "Who's the cheapest person you went on a date with?" kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So it was a 15-minute drive. So he then flipped through his wallet of coupons and found one for Applebee's free wings and the purchase of a beer.
Applebee's, bitch. Applebee's is having a moment right now.
I'm literally titling this episode "Most Chaotic Booth at Applebee's." It's a vibe. It's a mood.
And you know exactly what
and
that
it's-
is.
That's
And-
where we're at
yes,
right now.
yes,
It is.
yes.
I'm not a huge fan of wings, but just thought that's great. He can have some wings and for his meal. We get there and he immediately told the waitress he had a coupon. Asked for the cheapest beer they had and ordered his wings. The waitress looked at me and asked what I wanted, and before I could speak, he tells her, "I'm having the wings too." I said, "Actually, no thanks," and ordered some food for myself, and he got visibly upset. Then wouldn't speak to me and watch basketball on the TV the remainder of the
I'd
date.
be willing to pay for my own shit if I
Truly,
don't want wings.
honestly.
I'm just like, I just don't want wings. Like, I'll pay for my own fucking hamburger or whatever it is. Like,
Jesus.
One of my favorite things about being an adult is getting, for the most part, to do what I want to do.
That's
Amen.
right.
And yeah, if
And
I
I
don't,
love wings, but if I don't want
do.
wings,
I don't want wings.
then I don't want them right
Not
now.
interested.
I get to do what I want to do.
And here's the someone told me this once when I was like in my early 20s, and they're like, being frugal is attractive. Like being careful with your money, being
Yes,
conscious, of
yes.
money. Being cheap is a different thing.
Exactly.
And that is so unattractive whenever you go somewhere and you're like, what's the cheapest beer you have?
Yeah,
What's
come on.
I just like, it's totally cool that you want to save money. And if you don't care, listen, I've definitely gone out and gotten the cheapest wine on the menu because I'm like, my palate is not mature enough
it
to
ain't
give
there.
a fuck. Like,
You
I
don't care.
really don't care right now. I just want some wine.
House red.
100%. But
House.
it's all about how you like present yourself and like the vibes
Yeah.
you give off with who you're with. You can totally, and we've talked about this a million times, but like you can totally have a frugal date that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
It's,
definitely.
it's thoughtful, if someone wants to plan a picnic or be like, oh, the
There's so many
museum
thoughtful things.
has an exhibit and it's like actually half off. Like, would you want to do that? Perfectly
so
fine.
many
All these things are
or even
great.
take me to Applebee's. I'm fine with going to Applebee's.
I'm
I will
not
fuck
above
with Applebee's.
Listen,
Applebee's
in Columbus,
at all.
Ohio, if you're dating in Columbus, Ohio, the Museum of Art is free on Sundays.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Pro tip.
Great date.
Yeah.
Great date.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, then when the waitress came and asked if the check would be together, he hesitated. So I quickly asked for separate checks. Frugality is fine, but this man's
Exactly.
financial situation was equal to my own. Bonus content. Before the date, we met at a park and he started fishing. So I wandered around
Is he
until
getting
he was
dinner?
done
For you guys?
and then took a picture of him with his fish. Then he played his guitar at me for an hour.
An hour?
Insisting I sing with him.
I want to push you around.
Again, I will.
The Kennergy.
I cannot sing. And on the way home, he told me women shouldn't work and belong in the home. Basically told me I had to major because I was an art student.
Okay.
And that was great for me, but he has to be more serious and isn't comfortable working in a service job after college.
I have to tell you, like,
Woo,
this
woo.
type of man who has this kind of frugality and also wants a wife who doesn't have a job, girl, red flag. Run.
Reddest.
Run. Because, like, he's going to
Reddest.
control
Financial
every fucking
control.
aspect of
Financial abuse.
the way you live your life. Never, 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 never.
I always secure your own bag.
100%.
Amen.
Always have your
Amen.
own money. I can't say it enough.
Right.
There's enough of these like trad wife accounts that are coming out now that are like on the other side of it that are regretting the
Right.
stuff
I mean,
that
and
they've posted.
we said this on a movie episode, but I know only our patrons have access to that. So I'm going to reiterate it here. I believe 100%, like my mom, she has a master's degree, but she chose to stay home with us kids for a large portion of our childhoods. And like,
But she
I
made
think
a decision based off of her
I think
situation.
every woman has the right to make whatever decision they want to
Absolutely.
make. And if you want to be a stay-at-home wife and mother, then I think that is a totally acceptable decision to make.
Absolutely.
But
it
I
is
will,
a hard fucking job.
It's a hard job.
Yeah.
And it is labor. And so I'm going to repeat this because I think it's good advice that I heard online. And, I think our larger listener audience should hear it. If that's a choice you want to make, then I think I highly encourage you to have the conversation with your partner about being paid for your at-home work.
That's right.
I think that your partner should be paying you weekly into your own account
Yep.
for the work you do at home. So that if anything happens, I don't know your life.
So when?
If anything happens, then you still have your own money that you did earn. You
That's
earned
right.
that money.
That's right.
Like that is a job. And if he respects that as a job, or she or whoever your partner respects that, then I think that it's totally valid that you should get paid for that.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation.
No, totally.
Labor is labor.
That's right.
I couldn't do it.
No, me neither.
No, it couldn't
like
be
them
me.
yet.
Could not be me.
Okay, here we go. I took a hot girl out sailing.
The end.
And we know.
She never came back. What?
She brought a bottle of rum with her.
Oh, a whole bottle
I
of
have
rum.
to say, you can't take a lip gloss girl sailing. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a certain type of girl where I'm just like,
Rum too. Rum
in the mix.
Listen, rum is built for ships.
Rum is built for mixing, but just like straight
On
up
its own?
rum.
No.
Yeah, nothing good has ever happened.
Mixing.
And I've known lots of people who drink rum on its own. They're the most chaotic people you've ever met in your fucking life.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Rum is a pirate drink.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Unfortunately, I had the misfortune of being a teenager
pirate?
and of being a teenager and in my early 20s, right after Pirates of the Caribbean came out.
Oh, no.
And so many people cracking rum. People were drinking so much like rum by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
At that time.
Oh my
Rum
goodness.
mixers were a big
Yeah.
part of my upbringing as well.
She brought a bottle of rum with her, and when she started acting drunk, I was shocked to see she had drank almost the whole thing.
No.
How much time has passed? Like, I need to know.
Oh, no.
Because have you ever seen someone do that where they drink so fast that like they're not drunk
weird,
and then they're like
Drunk.
All of a sudden,
and you're like, oh no, what
like,
happened?
the
Where
light
are
switch
we?
flipped and caught up with them. Yeah. This was a little sunfish boat that barely fit two sober people.
Oh, no.
So I was constantly grabbing her and pulling her back from the edge whilst also sailing.
Oh,
I decided to cut my losses and head back
And
to
just
land.
push her over.
It's a lake.
Bye.
That's fine.
She can get back. It'll be fine.
Learn to swim.
But it takes forever because she's rolling around insensibly, and the place I'm at
Girl.
closed the gates
That's
at
so
dusk.
embarrassing.
So I get back to land. I need to get her off the boat, but she's trying to pass out and gets all angry
She's
when I
trying to-
try to talk to
I'm gonna
her.
take a nap right here.
Simply move her.
No. I'm sleeping.
I try to gently pick her up, but she's both limp and struggling.
It's like a fish.
I caught a big one, boy.
Yeah, you did.
All this is made much worse by the fact that there's 30-something-year-old woman with her toddler right nearby who's watching me try to manhandle
Baby.
a clearly drunk woman who's telling me to fuck off. I know. I'd be like
911.
I do. Yeah, I do have to say I feel for men, and you won't hear me say that too much, but like I do
Like,
feel
cut
for
this
men
out, cut this out.
in these scenarios. I'm gonna ruin my whole image, but in these types of scenarios,
I
because
know.
I'm like, what
He's
are
like,
you
I'm
supposed to? Like,
actually
I'm helping. I
trying
promise,
to
I'm
get this drunk
helping. I'm
woman
not a
off the
fucking
boat.
predator. I swear to God.
Oh my
Like,
God. It was bad. I could tell that the woman watching was debating what to do. As I'm reassessing the situation, I realize I need to walk several hundred yards to get back to my car. And if moving this belligerent woman 10 feet to shore was a near impossible struggle, there was no way I'd make it out in time. I was thinking about how dire the situation was when my eyes landed on a stray wheelchair someone had left at the
Oh,
bench.
no.
Oh God.
Bingo.
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
I love this.
I run and get it.
I do the same thing. If
Yep.
it was an option, yeah, I'm doing that.
Bring it right into the water next to the boat. Oh
no. Oh, babe.
Plop her in. Woman and toddler still watching, and wheel her up to my car. Her still rolling around and forcing me to pull her back into the chair.
I have to say, like,
That woman is like, wrote about this in her diary.
100%.
She was like, I saw a man.
He's like, should
think
I have called?
She's got all the description. She took his license plate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But like, if I was this woman who was this drunk, like,
Oh,
that is
embarrassing.
This is rock bottom.
So embarrassing.
This is rock bottom.
Yes.
This is when you get into AA.
This is in the mirror. You're like,
Yeah.
I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah.
a wheelchair back to a car.
Yeah.
It's time.
I load her up in my car, return the wheelchair to where I found it.
That's
Aw,
good.
we
You
love
know,
we love
yeah.
someone who puts the
Responsible.
cart back.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly.
You can tell a lot about a person.
Yeah, where they leave their cart
Whether or not
after
they're putting
shopping.
their cart back.
Wait, this
Yeah.
reminds me of your ex.
Oh,
Did
I
he
know.
just leave?
No,
the
no,
cart?
he did. And he would, what would he say? He'd say, job security.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God, that hit me like right in my fucking chest.
Yeah, it did.
That
Yeah.
is fucked up.
yeah.
Job security.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, you tell a lot about somebody by where they leave their cart.
That's so rude.
It is incredibly rude. Is anyone surprised?
Nope.
And so then I go and try to leave only to find the gates closed.
Oh, no.
I was locked in.
And you're stuck with someone who's rum drunk.
Not just any drunk, but rum drunk.
It's a different kind. It is.
Sweet drunk.
Yeah.
It's a puke drunk.
A sickly drunk.
It's a puke
it
drunk.
is. It is because like rum, I like rum, but if you
Yeah,
drink too much,
puke
but
drunk.
especially straight, it is sweet and
And
it
you're-
makes you feel like throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No cell phone on me. No friends nearby. I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my car? What am I going to do with her?
What am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
You're questioning everything
Truly.
at this moment.
Then, much like Neo in the Matrix, I said, no, I'm not doing that. So I scrounged around in my car, found 2 pairs of pliers, and proceeded to spend the next hour taking
Baby,
apart the gate
no.
by the hinge.
Yeah, you did.
No,
He's like,
but,
I'm fucking out of here.
Hold on,
We are
though.
done with this sitch.
We have to ask this is why I can't be on reality TV because I should
Like,
just
I
let
need
it
more
happen. It's
information.
good TV, but I'm like, is this a like national park? Like where are they? Because I'm just like
It
that
must
could
be
get
at
you
like
in-
a lake, and yeah, they're
could
like
get you in
this,
real
this
fucking
park
trouble.
closes
Listen,
at sunset.
He's like worth it. Hashtag worth it.
Yeah. He's like,
He's like, L'Oreal,
I need to
I'm
get
worth
out
it.
of here right now. Right fucking now.
Yeah,
Okay,
it would be me.
I just imagine sailing around on the lake with somebody that's like
flopping around.
You're like, we just got to get back to the fucking
They
shore.
look like one of those
Flip-flop
inflatable, like
rum
wacky inflatable tube men. Yeah.
Oh man. Proceeded to take apart the gate by the hinge, 4 bolts, and I had that fucker swinging open to sweet, sweet freedom. I was so happy when I left, but she was passed out and never knew any of it. She somehow wanted another date, but I declined.
Oh yeah.
But do you know how much trouble he could have gotten in? Like there, you had a woman watching you, taking down your fucking details, and then for sure they had a camera on that gate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
he's
it's
like,
incredible.
I gotta
he didn't get in
out
trouble.
of here.
Incredible.
Good for him though. Honestly,
True. And for real,
Truly.
when there is no worse feeling than when you want to be home and like you can't be. I have cried in LA traffic before because I'm just like I
happened the other
want
day
to be.
Yeah.
Home.
the number of
the
times
other
I've
day.
cried
Yeah.
just wanting to be home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 100% rookie move when that Jimmy Buffett concert was
remember
happening
you
at the
texted.
bowl.
Yeah.
And it took me, I left at 5. I didn't get home till almost 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That hurts my soul.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I
Yeah.
would cry too.
It took me an hour just to get from La Brea and Franklin to fucking the fucking Highland.
No.
An hour.
Like just basically that strip right by the bowl.
It's so close.
No.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so
no.
close. It was stopped.
Yeah, for our non-LA
Stopped.
listeners, like
For
it is
Jimmy
not
Buffett.
far. That is for Jimmy.
That sounds
It's
sounds
not
about
even
right though.
It's not even really Jimmy Buffett. It's a remembrance. It's like a memorial concert.
Yeah, is he dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause that's what I thought, and I was like, "Why are so many people going to this
'Cause it's
dead
a memorial.
dude thing?" But then it was, but it was a Beatle was there. Paul McCartney was there.
A
Well,
Beatle.
also there
The
are
Beatle.
certain people and bands that people go fucking hard.
People
for.
go hard for
Did you
fucking
see
Jimmy Buffett.
Yes,
Oh.
people love Jimmy Buffett.
So fucking hard.
The Buffett heads.
Are you kidding? Oh man, this is like Grateful Dead level.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And
Deadhead level,
speaking of
for
that,
sure.
not that we can linger on this because I think my Tainted Love. I'm already gonna have to speed through it. I think, but. Did you see the Drew Carey? Drew Carey went to see Fish at the Sphere in Vegas and tweeted about it and like lost his fucking mind.
Dude, I
Like,
want to go to the Sphere so bad.
Yeah.
But his tweets, I wish I could. I'm not going to look it up, but like I wish I could remember exactly what he said. But he was basically like, "I saw fucking God at this Fish concert."
Drew Carey. I fucking love him, dude.
Yes,
I
and when,
love
and
him
when
He's a good dude.
somebody,
so much.
and you know what else he said?
him.
And this is kind of like weird and maybe a little gross, but he said because somebody else like said something, he doubled down on it. He's like, no, it was the most like incredible experience of my life. He's like, I now feel like I know what it feels like to get fucked with a pussy. And I was like,
Wait, what?
I don't even know what that means.
I think you need
As
to.
a woman who has been, I
Yes.
don't know what that means. Coming
Wow.
Yay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Sorry to give you all that information.
I
Drew
know.
Carey.
Oh my God. Yikes.
What was he on?
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
And let's.
For sure.
There you go.
I mean, he
there
didn't
we
say
go.
he was, but
At
for
the
sure,
Sphere?
right?
But he said he was.
At a
At
Fish
the Sphere, at a
concert?
Fish concert.
Yeah.
No one at a
Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
like
He was still on shrooms when he wrote that post.
I've been
he
to
was.
a Fish concert and was not on drugs. Did have a couple glasses of wine, but I think I was the only one there not on drugs.
Yeah, I was
Everyone
to
is
say, that
on
sounds
drugs.
miserable. Being at a Fish concert sober.
Not on drugs? Oh, yeah. No, thank you. It's not for me.
Well, I was offered
that-
many drugs.
Oh, okay.
Many
Here's
more
the
drugs
thing
than I've
that
ever
I'm
been
going to
offered in
miss
my
the
life.
most about like, LA, besides my friends, and that is the availability of like any concert you want to go to.
Any.
I thought you were going to say any drug
Well,
you want.
Also
I really did think that's what you were going to say. But
cocaine.
yes, and any
I'm
any
going to miss
concert, any
cocaine the
concert.
most, more than anything.
Oh, jeez. So you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Sounds good. And we're back. Keegan.
Okay, so I have the Tainted Love this week. This one's kind of a big one. It was bigger than I expected, but I was like halfway through writing it, and then I was just like, "Well,
I'm
you're
here.
committed." You know what I mean?
We're here now.
We're here now. So there's a lot of background on this story, and I will say, like, this is as much about the toxic relationship between these two as it is about their crimes. So it's
Okay.
been a while since we've done a
Folie à
couple.
deux.
Yeah. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about Erica and BJ Sifrit. So, Erica Grace was born on February 3rd, 1978. So she's an Aquarius.
Oh my God, she's my age.
In Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania. She was incredibly privileged, incredibly wealthy. Like the kind of wealthy where her family owned, she was an only child. Her family owned like a literal mansion, multiple luxury cars. She never wanted for anything. And that all sounds really well and good, except for there is always that kind of like poor little rich girl aspect to that, where her parents had a lot of like really, really, really high expectations for her. She's an only child. So she was expected to be very, very high achieving, to the point where, you know, like they, of course, like monitored her grades, but they wanted her to be the best at everything. So when she joined the basketball team, her dad was like, you are going to be the best on the team. You are going to play at like professional level.
She's like, I'm only 5'4".
Right. And so whenever he felt like she wasn't being put in enough to play, he moved the family.
Oh no.
Moved the family to a new town, bought a 10-bedroom house. 10-bedroom mansion.
For 3 people.
That included an indoor swimming pool and full-size basketball court. And then became the coach of Erica's new.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa. That's a lot to unpack.
Wow.
That is
It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure to put on a child, right?
It's also a lot of privilege to put on a child.
Yes.
That is a lot of expectations in which that child is going to grow up with the way people should react around her.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on the bench a lot, so daddy's going to buy a 10-bedroom
I'm going
house
to buy
in
a
city.
team. I'm going to buy you a new
I'll
life.
buy you a high school team.
I'm going to buy you a new life and a new team.
A high school basketball team. Yes. So on top of her normal schoolwork and basketball practices, her parents also expected her to maintain top grades and spend all of her free time at home at their at-home basketball court practicing, right? So it's a lot of pressure to deal with, like as a teenager.
God, that's insane.
So she graduates high school at the top of her class, and she goes on to Mary Washington College, where she continues to play basketball. Now, when Erica was in her hometown, obviously, like you were saying, Cassie, she is top of the top. Her parents are rich. They bought her basketball team. They played her all the time. You know, so
College is going to be different.
it's different.
You can't buy a college usually.
Right. She's not like, she was a big fish, little pond situation in her hometown.
Sure.
And that's not what's happening when she's at college. There are people who are smarter than her.
Yep.
There are people who are better at basketball than
And
her.
richer than her.
Yes. And so she is starting to experience a lot of anxiety at this point, right?
She's been lied to her whole life, and now it's coming to play.
And she's a perfectionist, and that's what was expected in her family. So not being able to be like at the top of the class, at the top of your game is really difficult. And so she had this really obsessive need to be the best. And when she sees herself failing at that, she hits an all-time low. And it's during this time that she meets Benjamin BJ Sifrit. So Sifrit, not sure how you say their name, but anyway, I think Sifrit. Benjamin was born on October 21st, 1977. So he's a Libra. She's an Aquarius.
Oh,
it's a lot of air, chaotic air energy.
Yes.
Yes, unhinged.
no decisions are made. Not a one.
And his childhood wasn't quite as privileged as Erica's because whose is? Like,
Yeah,
it's so
right,
rare.
yeah.
But he was solidly upper middle class. Like anything he really wanted, like his parents would have like made that happen for him. He's also fairly high achieving and described as someone who thrived under pressure. I think he looked for that pressure. And you'll see throughout this story, he was a real like thrill seeker. Like I think that was kind of his thing, you know? So he did a lot of extracurriculars and would take on multiple part-time jobs as a teenager, like by choice. Like he just wanted to keep moving, really busy. So one job that he took was that of a locksmith, and his friends would later say that they would often find BJ just hanging out in their homes when they got home. Like he would just, for funsies, pick their locks.
I love you guys.
No, please
with
never.
all my
I'd be
heart.
so
Never.
fucking
Are you
But how
kidding?
freaked
out.
No,
would
done.
you be if you came home from work and I was just sitting on your
freaked
couch?
out. And they would just laugh at all.
Oh,
They're
I
like,
don't-
isn't this so funny?
No.
No.
That's so fucking weird.
That's
No.
scary.
Yes. So after high school,
don't ever do that to me.
I never would. After high school, BJ decides that he wants to go into the military. So he goes to a recruitment office. He does all the little tests, and that sounded really like he does all their little tests. No, but he does all the tests, and they're basically like he nails them.
Yeah.
He's at the top of all these, and they're like, "We want you for the Navy SEALs." They're like, "We think that you are a good, candidate for the Navy SEALs." Now, I know we have some listeners who are not Americans. So the Navy SEALs are an elite special operations force. And people usually do equate them as like the top of like military service in the States. So this was a pretty big deal. And becoming a Navy SEAL is super hard. You have to pass a lot of tests. You have to go through
You have to drown.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. You have to go through a 25-week conditioning program, and it's super brutal, and a lot of people fail in the process. Mm-hmm. As an example, when BJ was going through the program, there were 160 candidates going through with him. Only 16 made it to being SEALs at the end. And BJ was at the top of his class. So he was like number one.
That's honestly... Scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A locksmith who breaks into people's houses who's really good at being a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Terrifying.
And for the next 3 years...
I don't love this for the story you're about to tell.
No, nor should you. For the next 3 years of his military career, he remained at the top of his class. So it's at this point that he meets Erica. So you have two insanely high-achieving people coming together.
It just doesn't sound... I don't hear empathy in either of their stories. I think there's a lot of things that help you develop empathy, like as you grow up, like other kids your age, be it siblings or in school.
Learning how to accept failure.
Poverty.
Yeah.
I think poverty is a good empathy. Yeah, exactly. But
it's not a lot that's humbled them.
Yeah, you definitely like put developing humans into a pressure cooker, pretty much.
Yeah. So at first, BJ isn't super interested in Erica. He's like, whatever, but Erica becomes obsessed with BJ. She's got her eye on him, and she is zeroed fucking in. Right?
She's already made hearts on her notebook.
She's 100%. She's writing Mrs. Benjamin Sifrit on all of her little notebooks, So she was determined to get his attention. So one day, not long after they meet, or after they first met, Erica shows up at a Navy SEAL party and just happens to run into BJ. And it's like, girl, you were monitoring. Anytime the Navy SEALs were around, you were like, I'll be there, So for whatever reason, after not being initially interested in Erica, BJ is all in on this relationship at this point. They go in hot and heavy to the extreme, and 3 weeks later, they elope to Las Vegas.
Nope.
Whoa.
And get married.
That's way too soon.
It's too soon.
Way too soon.
We just watched that movie.
We sure did. Yes.
And I think they even waited a month.
I did think of that. I thought A Beautiful Disaster when I wrote that sentence.
No.
Around this time, Erica was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. And like all disorders, OCD can range in severity.
Sure.
But in Erica's case, it did seem to be pretty extreme. For instance, before leaving the house, she would feel compelled to turn the upper lock of her door 9 times before leaving the house and things like that. And so it would cause her severe anxiety if she didn't do these things.
Yeah.
Now, because these two people don't fucking know each other at all, BJ does not understand, nor is he compassionate or empathetic towards her OCD or her issues, right?
Sure, he's got a real walk it off personality.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's like, these are all such red flags. Of course, obviously, they're beyond red flags. But he not only didn't understand it, he was cruel about it. So he thought it was cute, like when she would get someplace, to then call her and say like, oh, I don't think you locked the door. Or I think you left the oven on.
Oh no.
Like would directly play into her OCD.
As a way of probably controlling her.
Yes. So
too.
she would leave because she felt compelled to leave and come back and double check everything.
You can't not. You couldn't not.
When you have that.
Literally couldn't.
No.
There's nothing in the world that could stop you from actually actively doing.
Yeah, it's really real. And it would throw her into a fit of anxiety,
compulsion.
obviously.
I have a tiny, slight bit of that.
Yeah.
In that, like, usually at night, I say like the door's locked, the door's locked, the door's locked 3 times, because then it sticks in my head, because my short-term memory, unless I like actively am like, I need to remember this, it's gone. It's gone like the wind. Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
But by saying it 3 times, then I'm able to be like, okay, I can go to bed, and I know I locked the door.
Yeah,
because I said it 3
it.
times and it's in my head. I know I did it.
But people who have this level of OCD, I mean, it truly is like, it can be debilitating.
Absolutely.
Truly debilitating. And so to make a joke out of it is so
not fun.
gross.
Not
terrible.
Yeah. So I don't want to say that this next part was a symptom of her OCD, because I actually don't know that, but we do know she does have an obsessive personality. She's obsessive with him as well. And she became extremely preoccupied with BJ. She wanted to keep tabs on him at all times. If he arrived home later than he said he would, even if only by 10 minutes, she would allegedly start shouting matches. She would throw things. She would break things. You know, that kind of thing. This is what their relationship is like.
Wow.
These are
Sounds fun.
2 very broken
Yes.
Yeah.
young adults.
It's so bad. So in October of 1999, the couple's sex life has gotten into a full rut. They're not having sex. Now, they are 3 months into a relationship.
Yeah.
They got married after 3 weeks. They're 3 months into a relationship, and the spark is gone already.
No.
Which I'm like, that's, you know. So according to Erica, she still wanted to have sex with BJ, because you're like 3 months into a relationship.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to sleep with her anymore. And when she approached him about this, he basically told her, I'm not interested, but fine, I'll make you happy. I'll take time out of my busy schedule
No.
to
Please
fuck
don't,
you.
actually.
Dude,
Like, I'll throw you a bone.
My self-esteem would crumble
Yes.
under that. That's a terrible thing to say.
Horrible. But as it turns out, BJ might not have been interested in sex with Erica because he was having a full-blown affair. Literally, however many months into his relationship with Erica, was already having an affair with another woman, and they were sending explicit emails back and forth and just fucking around.
Why get married?
Erica's back.
Why get married?
I don't know.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Why did you do that?
And I think it's just he likes the thrill of things. Like, I think that he just, like, everything is to the fucking extreme, like every single thing. And like, this is thrilling to him to like have a wife at home who's obsessed with him, and then have something on the side.
Also, like, ooh, what if I get caught? Yeah.
Woof.
And to that point, one day he leaves, and this is with everything that I'm going to talk about in this story, I can't help but feel like this is intentional. He leaves his email open, like his laptop open. He leaves it open, and Erica reads all of these emails.
Yeah, he wanted to get caught. Yeah, he wanted the drama.
Exciting, yeah. So this obviously sends Erica spiraling into a really deep depression. And instead of apologizing for the affair, BJ berates Erica for not being able to get out of bed. And sends an email to his mistress, and he starts the email off by saying, "Hey, bitch."
Nope.
And he threatens to, quote, and this is awful, amputate your bastard kids with a butcher knife and lock all the doors and windows and burn your house down.
What?
If she doesn't tell Erica that they never fucked.
Oh my God.
And there's an email. Like, it's like, there's an actual
You put
email.
that shit on paper.
Yeah.
You put it on wax.
Yeah. Which is like, you know, this person is
That's in the clouds.
unsafe.
That's
Yeah.
So keep in mind that BJ is a Navy SEAL and a locksmith. So like, how fucking scary, you know? So I'm not really sure what happened there, but that relationship obviously ended. He didn't go forward with that threat.
That's weird.
And Erica takes him back. She forgives him for the infidelity. But obviously now, she was paranoid before. Now she's extremely paranoid and jealous. And he is away a lot. He's in the military. He's gone a lot of the time. So she is like, I want to go with you. Like, wherever you go, I want to fucking go with you. And that's not allowed. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not for a SEAL.
No, but she convinces him to like take her with him to like one of his like things that he had to do in Alaska. So she flies to Alaska. He smuggles her onto a base. I have lived on bases. Like at my family was in the military. You have to go through military checkpoints. Everyone who goes in has to show an ID. They have to be expecting you.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot just bring someone on to a base.
Are they like hiding
in the
in
trunk?
Something.
in the
Yeah.
back seat under blankets, like our family used to do to get into the drive-throughs or drive-ins?
Yeah.
Remember? Because they used to charge.
But I mean, they do look like
Yeah.
they look. I remember when I lived on base, there were barricades first of all,
Yeah.
and then they would look through the windows with flashlights.
Yeah.
Like, but they got her onto the base, they get her into the barracks, and that's where they're found out because they were in there doing illegal. They had stolen morphine. And they were in there doing illegal drugs together. Like
What in the absolute fuck face?
right. So she's obviously thrown off the base, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
He gets basically a slap on the wrist. Nothing more serious than that. But obviously they're watching him really closely. And this does not suit Erica at all because she's like, I want to be with you all the time. And if you're going to be, I just don't want you to be a Navy SEAL anymore. Basically, she's like, I don't want you to be a Navy SEAL anymore because you're away from me too much. So they develop a plan together to get him discharged because he's like, I can't just leave. Like, that's not how the military works. You can't just walk away.
Yeah.
So one day when he's leaving to get a haircut, he's going off base. He decides to drive 50 miles per hour because you have to stop the same way when you're going into a military base. You have to stop at a checkpoint. You have to stop on your way out, or you at least, you have to go through the gate.
Yeah.
He drives 50 miles per hour through the military checkpoint, almost hitting 2 guards. And then he does the same when he comes back. He just like rams straight through without
What
stopping.
fucking base is this?
Yeah, seriously.
And
Jesus.
still, he gets placed in military jail, but he still does not get discharged from the military. So at this point, they're like, okay, well, what else can I fucking do? He's like, he gets released from military jail, but he's like on, I guess, like a probation period. He gets was doing something he's not supposed to do, gets called out by a superior officer, cusses that superior officer out, and then just deuces off of the base. So he goes AWOL, which you're also not allowed to do.
Yeah, you're going to end up back with the MP.
So at this point, he does get dishonorably discharged from the military. So
Well, there goes your fucking pension.
Everything you
all
worked
of
for.
it.
Everything you worked for.
Done.
which is why, like, listen, he's obviously a disgusting disaster of a human being. But I think she is also like, they're toxic. They're just toxic like, together, So Erica has gotten what she wants, but now both she and BJ are unemployed. They did not think this through. So the couple begins partying super fucking hard. They're partying hard. They're drinking. They're doing drugs. And BJ is continuously doing harder and harder drugs. Erica's daddy decides, like, because she goes to her daddy and she's like, you know what I like to do? Scrapbook. This is the early 2000s. I feel like scrapbooking was huge.
Huge.
So she's like, I love to scrapbook. And she did. She scrapbooked like everything in her life. So she goes to her dad and he buys her a scrapbook store. And that is her job now. She owns a scrapbook store. But this is not an exciting life for BJ. You know what I mean?
She could have done this while he was in the military.
Navy SEALs
to
scrap.
Right.
He could have just stayed in the SEALs and she could have owned a scrapbook store, right? At the same time.
Right.
I feel like
that's a very good military wife job, actually. Own scrapbook store.
Yeah.
So she has her hobby and it's scrapbooking. BJ needs a little bit more of an exciting hobby. So his new hobby becomes high-speed car chases with the police.
Oh my God. That's not a good hobby.
He buys an orange racing car.
Oh my God,
with black stripes down it.
What in the fucking Dukes of Hazzard
It's a fucking Vin
Fast
Diesel.
and the Furious.
Jesus.
So he would pull up next to cops at night and rev his engine and then speed off and get chased by cops. Like, this is the thing he liked to do. And somehow he still didn't get, like, arrested.
Come on.
It's a bright orange motherfucking car.
You can't find
Where
this
are they
vehicle.
living? You can't.
No, they pulled that motherfucker over. They're like, don't do that again, you silly
goose.
You guy.
You were a Navy SEAL.
Okay, guy.
I'll let you off. So he's got his hobby.
She's got
her
scrapbooking.
Hobby. They need a hobby that brings them together. You know what I mean?
This is going to be bad.
And
this is so bad.
Their new hobby together is robbing stores. Mm-hmm. So outside of scrapbooking, Erica had another obsession. Hooters.
I mean, the wings.
She was all about
Actually,
Good
I'm going to
wings.
say it here. Overrated wings.
I've never been to Hooters in my life.
I have. I think the wings are overrated. I
Chris
personally
loves their wings.
do not care for a breaded chicken wing.
Oh,
there it
I
is.
see.
My own personal preference. I like a naked wing, and I like it fried hard and shit, and then fucking
love
tossed
that.
in a spicy buffalo sauce.
You know, when I
Okay.
ate meat, I will say I would take a wing no matter how it came to me.
Yeah.
I loved a chicken wing. I really did. But Erica
Erica's
is not obsessed with the wings. She's obsessed with the merch. She loves Hooters merch.
She's a big owl fan.
This
Yeah.
is the wildest detail
Yes,
in a
it
story
truly
I've
is.
ever heard.
And you can look at pictures of them. She has so many pictures in Hooters, like tank tops and shit.
Oh, wow.
Like she.
Did she want to work there and just
Yeah,
didn't
just
feel
get
like
a
she
job.
could?
I don't know. Like she had mugs, she had shirts, anything from Hooters that she could get her hands on. So among other stores, BJ would use his locksmithing skills, and he
Oh
and
my
Erica
God.
would be just robbing Hooters all around town.
What in the
Yeah.
absolute fuck of all the fucking
This
things?
is so fucking random. What? If you asked me to try to guess this story,
No,
that is
you wouldn't
never,
have put Hooters in the
That
mix.
was not on the radar.
100 years.
Hooters is
Wasn't
like,
even
why
on
am
the
I
bingo
in
card.
it? Hooters is like, keep me out of it. I didn't fucking ask for this, you know. But what she didn't add to her collection, the couple would sell on eBay. So they were pulling in. They were robbing stores almost
Is
every
there
night.
a market for a black market for
Apparently.
Hooters merch?
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Some people are willing to steal for it. So
Wow.
So they began spending money on things like exotic pets, including an alligator they named Alabama. And for
What? Wait.
yes, do you have questions?
Where
Sorry.
they keep the gator in the
They got a
tub?
gator?
Their house, I guess. Yeah, Alabama. Their alligator, obviously. Anyway,
I hate that. I hate
Everything about this story. This is the worst story.
well,
ever.
you're gonna really hate this, and I'm so
These-
sorry to
these
say this
people are the
because
worst.
they also had 4 large boa constrictors. Their names were Bonnie and Clyde, obviously,
Yeah.
were 2 of the boa constrictors. Then the others, and this makes me feel so gross even to say, the other 2 boa constrictors were named HIV and Hitler.
What?
So they're really nice people. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the
Yes.
fuck
Yeah.
are these people?
I
Yeah.
have no words.
They're as bad as you think they. I mean, it only gets worse from here. It only gets
great.
much, much worse. Like this is just the beginning of their escalation. And I'm only keeping all this in because it does really highlight. This is called Tainted Love, and this is the most toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh, man.
relationship itself is toxic. Outside of even
it
the crime.
almost seems like they're slowly trying to like one up each
Yes.
other.
Well, because
Yeah.
he's a adrenaline junkie, and I think it's like you can never. It has to be bigger. It has to be more. It has to be and they're on a lot of drugs. So, not surprisingly, BJ was openly racist. He had a swastika
You don't
tattoo.
say.
Yeah.
With a fucking boa constrictor named Hitler. You
Yeah.
don't say.
Yep.
Huh.
I'm going to give a content warning for this next part because this is one of the most disgusting. Well, I can't say that because the story gets so bad. But this part is so maniacal and manipulative and just so gross
Okay.
what he does here. So, content warning for like abortion, but it's more than that. So BJ had always told Erica that he didn't want kids. And even though she had always wanted kids, she goes along with whatever he wants, right? So she's just like, okay, whatever. She conceded not to have them. So she was surprised when one day he approached her and said that he was ready to be a father. He's like, I want to try, like, let's try to have kids.
Oh, God.
So they try. She quickly becomes pregnant. She's fucking over the moon excited
no.
about being pregnant. Even though these 2 people as parents is a very scary thought.
yeah.
But
no.
she's a couple of months along. And when I say that, I mean like 3 or 4 months along.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
BJ approaches her again and tells her he actually doesn't want a kid. Never mind. I don't want one. I don't want to be a dad. So Erica is stunned, right? Like she's trying to reason with him. She wants to keep the baby. He becomes irate. He becomes violent. He basically tells her, and this is...
Now's the time you move back with your rich parents.
Yeah.
Now is
Yeah.
the fucking time.
And I want to give a content warning for this specifically because it is so graphic and awful. He tells her that either she goes to the clinic the next day or he will dig it out himself.
Oh my God.
So he drove her to the clinic the next day. After the procedure, And by the way, this is all according to Erica. So you have to, it's all according to her. We don't, he's not said that he's done this, but.
Right.
But after the procedure, he turns to her and he congratulates her for passing his tests. He explains that the whole thing, asking her to get pregnant in the first place and then demanding the abortion, was a test to prove her loyalty to him.
Oh my
That's
God.
the
What a
fucking worst thing I've ever heard.
Ever.
It's so awful. So
What the fuck?
after this, things go back to normal.
Oh.
Whatever weird normal is for this
The four boa constrictor gator people. Yeah.
Woof.
and by this I mean excessive partying and robberies.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Wait, where do they live? Florida?
I'm actually not. I can't even remember now. It
They
feels very Florida.
They have a
an
gator
alligator
named Alabama, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Oh, that's a good
in
point.
that region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day, BJ purchases cocaine from a local drug dealer, only to discover when he goes to snort it that he's actually been sold bleach powder. So he's enraged, right? Enraged. So he forms a plan.
You're not dead? Can you?
He
Dude,
must
that
have
would
noticed
hurt
but-
so
and
bad.
maybe he
Oh,
noticed
God.
before it actually went on. all
Yeah,
the way,
I
you know.
mean, yeah.
smell
Usually when you
Smell it when you go down.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very different smell.
It's true. It's true.
What does cocaine smell like,
Bleach has a
Cassie?
very potent smell.
Let me smell it.
Yeah, let me.
Is that real?
So he's pissed. He forms a plan to murder the drug dealer using acid, and even goes so far as to purchase the acid and, content warning for animal abuse, test its potency by throwing a live rat into the acid.
Wow.
Okay,
So-
that was terrible. But I thought he was gonna
It's not like a dog.
toss one of his pets.
Oh
in
my
it.
God.
And I was like,
I don't
that
like
was
any
worse.
of this.
No, it's
I don't
all
like
bad.
I don't want a
It's-
fucking rat. I don't want it to be
that rat didn't do anything
Yeah.
to you.
Ugh.
For whatever reason, he doesn't go through with murdering the drug dealer, but from this point forward, he is obsessed with the idea of killing someone. He's obsessed with the idea of like the thrill of killing somebody.
I do not love this narrative for him.
It's off, and he also, because of course he does, he has an extensive gun collection. He's a
Of
gun
course he
collector.
does. Of course he is.
So he also purchases the Anarchist Cookbook at this time, which that was not on my list of red flag books when I made that TikTok years ago. But that is a red flag fucking book.
Jesus
if you go
Christ,
over to
you think?
someone's house and they have
Yes.
Anarchist Cookbook on a shelf,
No.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
that's on the short list of I gotta get. I'm sorry, I have a doctor's appointment. I
I've
forgot
got something
about.
else to do.
Yeah.
So he's all coked up. He's talking to Erica constantly about how much of a thrill it would be to actually follow through with this. So just before Memorial Day 2002, BJ tells Erica that he needs a vacation. Motherfucker doesn't have a job.
Or
How
from
are they
what?
affording drugs? Oh, Hooters merch.
Hooters, stolen Hooters merch. That's
Got it.
it. Yeah.
Forgot it. Sorry.
Yeah. And the scrapbooking store. You can't
Exactly.
forget about
Yes.
that. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So the couple make plans to go to Ocean City, Maryland for a holiday. They're like, this is where we're going to vacay. So while in Ocean City, they go out partying and end up at a club called Secrets. It's spelled S-E-A. Secrets, like by the sea. Secrets.
Woof.
And there they meet Joshua Ford and Martha Jeannie Crutchley. So Joshua and Jeannie have a bit of an age gap. He's 32. She's 51. She was
MILF Manor.
Yep. And they'd been together for 3 years after having met at a Christmas party and were said to be a really loving, happy couple. They were really compatible. They got along really well. Joshua had a 6-year-old son from a previous relationship, and Jeannie was said to have been a loving, doting stepmother.
Okay.
So they meet Erica and BJ, and the four hit it off. They're having a great time. They're partying. And Erica and BJ suggest that they come back to their condo to keep the party going after the club closes. And they're like, sounds good. Let's do it. So they get back. Everything's going well. They all get into the hot tub. It's good. It's a good time. But then out of nowhere, Erica starts yelling that she can't find her purse. Can't find my purse. And immediately, almost like it was planned, BJ pulls out his gun, starts waving it around and says, like, which one of you stole my wife's purse? Right? And Erica goes so far even to like call the police. Like you can hear the police call. She calls the police and says, I have these people in my house, strange people in my house, and they're trying to rob me. So Joshua and Jeannie are obviously terrified.
Yeah. They're like, oh,
Right.
whoa,
They
we
didn't sign up for
want
this.
smoke.
And it turned on a dime. You know?
Yeah.
And so they run into the bathroom. They run into the bathroom. They lock the bathroom door and they're in the bathroom together. And while they're in there, someone shoots through the bathroom door and it hits Joshua in the head and he dies.
Oh, jeez.
So imagine how terrified Jeannie is now. Like she's in there, you know, they're banging on the door. They break in.
Yeah.
They break in. And I'll say this because we don't know for sure, but it's believed that she was stabbed to death and Joshua was shot an additional 3 times. So both of them have been killed. So BJ instructs Erica to go to a 24-hour cleaning supply store and pick up things to clean up the crime scene.
Where are the fucking cops?
Well, I think that they didn't end up coming, as they must have been like, oh, never mind, like whatever, or didn't give her. She probably didn't give the location because she sounded fucked up on the call, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
So the police, but it is gunshots in a condo in Ocean City, Maryland,
Right.
So I don't know, but I'm really struggling with how much to give here because it is so awful what happens when she gets back from the store, but. So I'm just going to give like a major content warning. If you don't want like really graphic details, just skip ahead. When she returns, she finds BJ naked, covered in blood, with an erection, holding the decapitated heads of Jeannie and Joshua.
Holy shit.
And he asks Erica to take a picture.
No.
Yes. So I'm not going to go into more details, but there was also necrophilia involved on the part of BJ, and a joke was made about cannibalism. Whether or not that happened, we don't know.
No.
He then began dismembering the bodies. The bodies were then disposed of in a grocery store dumpster before hitting a bunch of... They disposed of the bodies, and then they just hit the town. Like, you can see pictures of them just like, hey, can you take my picture in front of this lake?
Yeah,
or
we're
whatever?
on vacation.
We're on vacation. But in the picture, like if you look closely at the picture, Erica is wearing a necklace, and on that necklace is a ring that belongs to Josh. And she's just wearing it around town vacationing. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So BJ and Erica are not worried. They're not like eager to leave town. They stay in Ocean City another 4 days. There are signs that are going up all over town missing Joshua and Jeannie, missing, right? And meanwhile, she's wearing his fucking ring on a necklace around her neck.
Wow.
Yes. So I think it actually like gave them a little bit of a thrill to feel like they were getting away with something. And I feel that way because 4 days after after they killed Josh and Jeannie, they meet another couple at a club named Melissa and Justin. So they do the exact same thing. They take them back after they're at the club. They hang out with them all night, take them back. They get in the hot tub. Same thing. Where's my purse? You stole my wife's purse. Pull the gun out, that stuff. But for whatever reason, BJ gets distracted this time, takes Erica into the other room. They start having sex. And Melissa and Justin are like, well, we're going to get
the fuck out.
So they leave at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they don't report anything. They're just like, that was a weird,
really
fucking night.
weird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But so they don't report anything. They just like
I
go
kind of
on.
would probably be the same. I'd be like, that
I
was
probably
fucking
would
weird.
too, honestly. Just be like,
that
God, can't trust everybody. You know, like what a
never
weird
again do we go to
situation.
somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So while in Ocean City, Erica decides that she wants some Ocean City specific Hooters merch.
Ah, yes.
Got to get that Ocean City merch.
Oh, of course.
And so the couple decides to break into a Hooters in the middle of the night in Ocean City, not realizing that the location that they were at had a silent alarm that would trigger. So it triggers. The officers arrive. They catch them red-handed. Erica is in a Hooters hoodie. There's pictures. And they arrest them on burglary charges. So during this, Erica starts having a panic attack. And she's like, can you get the Xanax out of my purse for me? They go to get it out of her purse. And while they're in her purse, they find Jeannie's driver's license, Joshua's driver's license and social security card, and 5 spent shell casings.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Because you get a thrill from it. Like, that's the only reason why you would do half of this shit.
It's wild.
And of course, the officers know who these people are.
Yeah.
They've
been looking for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Jesus.
can you come in here and shut the door, please?
Yes. So they go back to the couple's condo. They find evidence of the crime everywhere because they didn't do a good enough job. That's so much blood. They did not do a good enough job cleaning up, and there's other shit.
Right.
Their items in the house. So
Jesus.
They know that they were there. BJ held up under questioning. That Navy SEAL training kicked in. He held up under questioning. Erica
like,
folded
fuck.
like a house of cards immediately. Like,
Yeah, because daddy's going to buy her a scrapbooking shop and get her out of this,
Yeah.
She immediately told police everything, including where the bodies had been dumped. So police were able to trace those dumpsters to a local landfill, and were we able to recover some of the remains of Joshua and Jeannie. Though Erica confessed to the crime, she ultimately blamed everything on BJ, saying that this was all his idea. She just went along with it, even though she did confess to stabbing Jeannie. So she says, he shot through the door, he shot Josh, and I did participate in stabbing Jeannie to death. So BJ and Erica had separate trials. BJ went first and was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. But because they were only able to find partial remains of Jeannie, they weren't able to fully determine how she died. So they basically only had Erica's word for it that she was stabbed. So because of this, he was convicted of second-degree murder because they couldn't determine.
Wow.
BJ's defense team held firm that it was Erica who shot Joshua. And because they couldn't prove who fired the gun, BJ was acquitted of that murder.
Holy shit.
So he received 38 years for the second-degree murder of Jeannie Crutchley. He was eligible for parole in 2021, but was denied. He is set to be released in 2030.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Such a dangerous person.
Yes.
Wow.
Even though Erica had confessed to the stabbing of Jeannie because they, again, couldn't determine the actual cause of death, she, too, was convicted of second-degree murder in that case. However, for reasons I'm not 100% sure about, I think because the gun may have been registered to Erica, she was found guilty of the first-degree murder of Joshua Ford.
Wow.
So for both crimes, she was given a life sentence plus 20 years.
Wow.
So she got a life sentence plus 20 years. He got 38 years.
Holy shit.
Wow. I have never heard that
That's
case before.
insane.
I think I'd seen a Snapped a long time ago, and the only thing that makes me remember it is the purse thing is so weird.
Yeah.
That was that was the plan that they'd come up with, was like, you have to, do you say that someone's stolen your purse? You say your purse is missing, and that will be like my trigger to go off on these people, But sorry, that's a little bit of a long one. I tried to get through it, but it's so like the relationship itself is so fucked up and toxic, and
Yeah. There was something that, talk about 2 people that never should have gotten together.
God.
It was like, baking soda and vinegar making that volcano.
Explosion. Yeah. And, a lot of people say like, it is this thing, like if these 2 people had never met, that's how it was phrased on the Snapped episode I watched, that like, oh, they never would have done this. He, I think, is a dangerous person.
Yeah.
Like, I just think she is scary because of her
Unstable.
ability to just go along with the most batshit stuff. But do I think like if she had maybe become obsessed with a more stable person, would she have maybe done this? Maybe not. I don't know.
She might have, got just obsessed with fucking scrapbooking, and that'd have been it.
But the fact that she's capable of this, period, regardless, and was willing to not only do it once but twice, and wear Joshua's ring around her neck, and all that stuff, like she's right where she needs to be. I wish he had gotten a life sentence as well.
Oof.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Woof.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Well,
What are you guys watching this week?
I watched a mini series called Made, and it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
based
remember
off a
seeing
real
that.
story.
Yeah.
It has Andy McDowell's daughter in it, right? Quali, the Quali,
Oh, is
the
that-
Quali girl. Yes.
Andy
Yeah.
McDowell's in it.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's her
realize-
daughter.
Oh, I did not know that. So fucking good.
I think it's based on a novel.
It's
Yeah.
based off a
Yeah.
true story of an author. Yeah, it's really, really good.
I think
I
the
highly
author
recommend it.
is going to or just released another book.
She did
too.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. About
I've
her,
heard
her
good things.
school, about
Yeah.
going to college. Yeah, it is really, really good.
I love a memoir. I really
It
do.
is really good, and it's so well done. And it's well acted, and it's just it shows off all of the things that. Like, you know, they really dive into like what is abuse, and you know, and it's just like it is definitely like if you've ever experienced abuse that wasn't somebody actually hitting you, mental, emotional, any of that kind of, and you're just like, I don't know, I maybe this is a Midwestern trait, maybe it's just a women's trait. To just feel like, oh, well, that's, you know, it's not that big. I don't have bruises on me, so it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
It really touches on that.
It's so
and the
much
way that
easier to justify.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just touches on that because, yeah. At any rate, it's really fucking good, and I highly recommend it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
I did start Baby Reindeer.
Oh,
I watched the first 2 episodes. First of all, that actress is amazing. Like she's really great. I did enjoy the first 2 episodes, but I could tell that shit was about to get like real uncomfy. And I was just not in a place where I was ready to take that on.
Yeah.
So I took a pause from it. I am going to finish it, but it's uncomfortable. I mean,
don't think I wanna watch it.
It's you know.
Yeah, it makes me feel like I would get anxious.
yeah. It's giving me anxiety.
Especially with all
the
the stuff around the show now.
Yeah,
Wait,
where
what?
she's come out, the woman who it's based on has come out. I mean, and that is the thing. And I don't know, I haven't finished it yet, but what I can say that's interesting about the show is it does show she's portrayed definitely as an unhinged stalker type person, like a delusional type person. But he is also kind of portrayed, and I think he's playing himself, the person who wrote it, but he is also kind of portrayed as someone who is making decisions that lead her on. Like that make
So he's not making himself come out as the good guy here necessarily.
not necessarily, I don't think. And I think that that's kind of maybe part of it is just like
He's acknowledging his part.
and there are characters in the show who say that they're like, you're getting something out of her being this obsessed with you.
Yeah.
And again, like I have not finished the series, so I don't know if that changes at some point, but it's interesting.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't have that much to report. I did watch The History of Black Twitter, which I really enjoyed.
I want to
on
watch that. That
Hulu.
looks fun.
It made me sad because I was a lurker on Twitter. I like never really posted, but the idea that there was a place that could be a town square for people to get real information across is something that is lost now, which is a true
Only going to
bummer.
get worse with losing TikTok and
But but the idea of like the people finding a community and how that evolved and why it was what it was pretty interesting. So that was a fun watch if you want to check it out.
yay.
Well, if you guys have something we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, if you just want to reach out and say hello, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much.
Cheers.